Hey community, this is Adam and Carrie Anderson.
Hello.
And we are with Whole Life Entrepreneurship,
Yes.
WLEmission.com.
Hello, and happy Sunday to you.
Yes.
And happy Sunday to you.
You know what? Happy Sunday to you. I really appreciated that you literally took all of the children everywhere today, and I got to basically hang out at home.
Well, to be fair, you let me do that yesterday.
Oh, look, we help each other.
Well, when your wife says to you, you need to take these people out of this house,
Or
I
we're
can
gonna have less
see
people.
a breakdown on the horizon.
I feel it. It's like
I
here.
can feel it.
It's like
a storm is a brewing. The barometric pressure changes in my head, and I really can't predict when I'm going to snap.
Now, it isn't that the kids and life is horrible. It's just that we all have thresholds. And I think that, I really am proud of the fact that you get ahead of that stuff. I know a lot of times people don't have the self-awareness to be like, oh, this is going too far. I better ask for help, right?
Man, I try. You would think after
Math.
29 years.
29 years. The first 15, she didn't try at all.
You'd think after...
You look good for 50.
You would think that, after living this long, that I would have some inkling of how to manage myself. But,
No, apparently you don't get any of that until 45.
are things really that different after turning 40?
They really are, but I'm quoting either Adler or Freud. I think it was Adler who said that you don't get real wisdom until you're 45, because all up to this point, you're still experiencing all of these things, and you're adding to your repertoire. You're building how the whole vault of knowledge, so to speak. And it isn't until you get into your mid 40s that you start processing and really seeing all the connections, right? If you don't see all of the puzzle pieces, how can you put together a good picture?
Well, I think that is a really good lead into what our topic is this week. Did
What?
you do that on purpose?
No, it's just naturally gifted. Sprinkling wisdom.
Yeah.
Sprinkling wisdom.
Yeah, this is organic wisdom at its finest. Yeah, so our topic this week,
Free ranged. With
free range wisdom.
Yeah, yes. If it's
Free range wisdom.
if it's organic, then it's obviously free range.
So the topic this week is about
VVG.
VVG. It sounds like a disorder, or
Mm,
something you
yeah.
might would need penicillin for.
Oh, I heard that your auntie got the VVG. How can she look at her husband in the eye?
No,
So
VVG. No. VVG stands for Vision, Values, and Goals.
Yes, vision, values, and goals.
Why do you think vision, values, and goals are important for a business?
All right, so
Not a family yet. Let's talk about business.
there's two different kinds of businesses. There's one that is just hustling and grinding, and everybody's busy, and everyone's just like rah, and everybody's busy. And then every couple months you look around and be like, why aren't we growing? Why haven't we gotten more customers? Why are we losing the ones we have? We're busy. We're doing stuff. Well, the other kind of business is a business who says, we're going to go over there. And now that we know what we're doing, we stop doing all this busy stuff and we only do the things that take us where we want to go. So in a business, if you don't have a good vision of where you want it to go, then anything seems like a good idea. And so then you try to do everything and you end up doing nothing.
Yeah, like hamster on a wheel going nowhere.
More like 20 hamsters in the wheels
Yeah.
going like 20 different directions.
How frustrating that would be.
It isn't actually. Do you know why? Because in the middle of it, you feel good. You're busy.
Well, at least you're busy.
That's right. And people are like, well, this is what gets me frustrated with when people say, do you know how hard I worked on that?
Yeah.
I'm like, bless your heart. Thank you. Hard work is super important. But if you're working
Yeah.
at it in such a way and you're doing a thing that isn't helping us get to where we want to go,
Right.
then I'm afraid that your hard work is a giant waste of time.
Because unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, the destination does matter.
It really does. Yeah.
really does.
Enjoy the journey, but you got to pick a destination to have a journey.
Right. So in a family, how can you tie together the visions of your business and the visions of your family? Why do they even matter?
Well, so The vision of your family, when we say it that way from a WLE point of view, what
Right.
we really mean is, what is your life vision? What does life look like going forward with everything? And so your business, your vision for your business is plugged in there. The vision for yourself, for your spouse, for your kids, for your extended family, to your communities. All of those things come together into one overall vision. And to me, if you can have a vision of what you think the world should look like for your family, for your business, for your life, then you have a starting place to start working backwards and figuring out, all right, what do I need to do to make that happen? Or more accurately, what do I need to do to stop getting in the way? Because when you pick a vision, the world kind of opens up for you.
Well, I mean, you always use the term, and I love the term because I think that it's a great analogy. You know, you don't want to boil the ocean. You can do so many things at once and it not get you exactly where you want to go. The idea, though, I think, for setting vision, values, and goals for yourself as an individual, but also as a family unit, having that business sort of tie into your goals makes it a common goal for everybody to work towards. So in that way, then every sacrifice is a common sacrifice.
Yep.
You don't have to question a lot of it because you're all in the same boat and you're all going there together. In my experience, when we were having a really hard time, you had your thing and I had my thing, and we just went.
Yep.
And it was a problem.
But
It was a real problem. And since I knew very little about the business and how it fed into the machine of my life, it actually became more of like a bad guy. It became something for me to fight against, even though, sure, it gave me something. But it was not a great symbiotic relationship that I had with the business. It ended up feeling like I was the other woman almost, and the business was what was the most important. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, you've said it before. I never really felt of it that way, but when you look back at how I was spending my time and where I was spending my money, I was spending it on the business. And we had, we say that the number one problem affecting anybody in a relationship is unspoken expectations and unspoken words, right? And so you had a vision for how you wanted your life to be, and I had a vision of how I wanted my life to be, but we never talked about it. We never got on the same page.
And have things changed with our vision along our life together?
Why, yes, it has, Carrie. It has. We're almost 72%. So this is, where I'm going with this is that we are not 100% vision compatible.
No, and I would say that the vision that we both started out with individually even,
well, those are gone.
13 years ago, don't even really exist. I mean, we're still married. That was part of it, I guess.
Yeah, that's the nice part.
Yeah.
Yeah, the idea here that I want to build empires and billion-dollar blah blah blahs, and Carrie wants to have a significant, deep impact in people's lives. That kind of is, coming together. This is my coffee cup. Hold on, I'm gonna speak with my hands. I should maybe have my hands. So it comes to, what do I do with my hands, Ricky Bobby? Coming together, right? And I think that's kind of how it's supposed to work. Now, there's so much friction, and I want to be so clear. You are going to never have a 100% perfect vision. You're never going to have a 100% perfect meshing, and that's good because that means that you guys are still doing your own thing. And I think that we've gotten real good at picking a direction and picking a vision without thinking that it is a completely forever vision.
I would 100% agree with that. In fact, I think one of the things that people get really, really hung up on when thinking about vision specifically is that it's really easy with expectations set a certain way to be disappointed if something goes awry out of your control. And so I think it's really important to build in flexibility. Well, if this doesn't work, then we'll do this. Well, if this doesn't work, then we'll do this. That doesn't mean you're not all in.
Yep.
It just means you're hedging your bets.
Well, even on another perspective, you're not necessarily even just hedging your bets. You're doing one step more, which is I don't have all the data. Mm-hmm. Why would I want to do this one thing? And I'm like, nope, that's it. But as I'm going through life, I'm getting more information, and it turns out this is so much better. Mm-hmm. I mean, you hedge your bets, but I think what we both are meaning there is you give yourself permission to pivot based off of the information at hand.
Yes. So when we talk about vision, values, and goals, when I think of vision, I think of a big dream, a big aspiration, a big destination, a place you want to go 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line. Mm-hmm. When I think of values, I think about who I want to be along that journey.
Yep.
So those are things too that as a family, we kind of had to back off a little bit and say, wait, is this the Andersons that we want to be? Mm-hmm. Because I'm not entirely sure that's how we're behaving right now. Can we back it up, look at what's really important to us, and then say, okay, well, even if we're not this right now, this is who we want to be, mm-hmm. and then let that kind of steer how we behave along our journey. And that was something I think that really, really helped glue us back together when we were so far apart. Is being like, okay, well, you know what? This is the A-team.
Yep.
This is the Andersons. This
yep.
is who we want to be. And I'm going to be a team member no matter what. Here's what it means to be on Team A.
Right.
And I think that really, not just for us, but for the kids too. We can look at our kids and be like, is that how the Anderson do?
Yeah.
And they're like,
depends on the mood. Some be like, that's how the Anderson do today.
Yeah. So when we talk about values, that's really what we mean. The last thing that we talk about when we talk about this is the goal section of it. And goals are very much like what they seem, but I think of goals as being the small achievements at the end of the work. Mm-hmm. And I think of the work part as being a mission. And I gave you a great analogy this week.
In your own opinion?
He doesn't think it's a great analogy.
I think it's a
very good analogy.
It's a fantastic analogy.
Would you walk us through what I was trying to explain? Because I don't know all the words for things.
So Carrie said, isn't there this game called Zelda? And isn't there a hero trying to save the world and a princess and stuff? I said, yeah, there is. And she's like,
Zelda was the hero, but Zelda's the princess.
Yeah. And she's like, what's the dude's name? Link. Okay, so stay with me. I'm staying with you, baby. What if the vision was a world where princesses were safe and the values were, all about, how does Link act as a hero, and the goals are every mission leading up to finally saving the princess.
And it's like what are they called? Those little stages within a game.
Every level.
Level.
Oh, you're cute.
It's a level. Every level is its own mission with a goal at
mm-hmm.
at the end of each level.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what I think about it. So we have kind of gone back and forth with whole life entrepreneurship.
I was just picturing how do values show up in that? I'm like,
that's
value.
The hero.
Well, yeah, the hero.
What values go along with being heroic?
The hero doesn't steal from the computer creatures. Doesn't kill things.
Kill villagers
doesn't
kill
villagers, right? Well, I'm the kind of hero who doesn't kill villagers and steal and blah blah blah, right?
Yeah. So you would have heroic qualities
mm-hmm.
that are your values that you want to be along this entire journey towards creating a safe world for princesses everywhere.
You know what's interesting about values is that typically they're programmed for us. Most of us have our values set from our families and our society and our religion and our communities. And most of us haven't taken the time to reflect on what our actual values are. And I'm willing to bet if I told you guys right now, write down 20 values, you would work. And then I'm like, tie each one of those back to where it came from. That would be tough. So, we say that you should approach values in 2 ways. The first one is look at your bank account and your calendar. Those are going to tell you
Yes.
what your values are. Your current values are, right? Because you might say, we want to travel and see the world, that we value adventure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you have got $0 spent on any kind of travel over the last 10 years. You do not value travel. What you value is safety, security, stability, things like that. So the first,
Which is okay.
absolutely, but
No judgment.
if you say something's your values, you may not be living it. Like, I
It's
value my
not
children.
reflected.
Yes, I value being a good father.
It's not actually reflected in your 2 main resources, your time and your wallet.
I had this sensation you were about to cuss right there. Time and yes.
Your cash.
So
Your Benjamins.
vengeance.
Yeah.
So we say that you've got 2 things. You've got your existing value set and then your aspirational values. These are all the things that you want to be that aren't already showing up, right? And you have to plug those into your vision and also look at what kind of goals do I need to set to go with that aspirational value.
But we will go more into values in a couple of weeks. So save some of your wisdom.
Is this just supposed to
For
be vision?
then.
This is just vision?
No, it's just talking about why we're talking about vision, values, and goals.
Oh,
Why? Then we'll go into each one
I
as the
gotcha.
series goes on.
I'll come up with new stuff.
I'm going to need some new material from you.
Anyway, so goals are Zelda.
But we have gone back and forth about this concept of mission
Yeah.
and mission statements. And I did want to touch base on that. And that's kind of why I bring up the Zelda game, because I think of every level as being a mission to a small goal at the end. And the overall Big Bang goal is your vision, your pie in the sky idea, your dream of what you would like everything to look like at the end of the entire game of life.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of having mission statements, but I don't necessarily think that vision and mission are the same thing.
I agree. And if you go talk to any business person and say, we need a mission statement, if they've been at it at any amount of time, they're going to go like this. Oh, God, a mission statement.
I like a mission statement because, again, I think that it creates a little sense of teamwork, cohesiveness. Again, just a reminder that, hey, we're all on the same team. We're all trying to go to the same destination. There's no sense in us fighting each other. We have to work together to get there. So I like a mission statement in so far as that I can say to Adam and to the kids, remember, we are the Anderson family, and we do blank by doing blank. And so you fill in the blank with whatever is important to your family. I don't remember what ours was exactly, but it's a lot about helping people and
leading by example.
Leading by example, exactly. And my thing is that I would like for us to do it at 100%. I don't like doing it at 30%. I don't like doing it at 70%. I don't like doing it at 98%. I'm all in all the time. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it all the way. And that's a value that I think is really important for my kids to kind of wrap their head around as well. So that's kind of why we add that to our mission statement, to really ingrain that in them. How do you set mission statements for businesses?
Well, what you do is you hire an expensive consultant. And that expensive consultant comes in and it sits in a very sad boardroom and you hang up motivational posters.
Oh, of little kitty cats. Hang in there.
Hang in there, synergy, yay! Right? And you whiteboard a bunch of adjectives and you come up with we are a company that, and basically, in order to get to agreement, you have to pick the lowest and boringest thing. And so most mission statements get watered down.
That encompasses everything.
Yep, most mission statements get watered down, but at least we all were heard. There's a saying that none of us is as dumb as all of us. So I have when people typically go about building mission statements for their companies, it's a giant waste of time. What I think is a better way of doing a mission statement is for a few people to decide what it is after talking to everybody. And then if nobody's inspired by it, then you kind of got the wrong mission statement or the wrong employees. Frequently, when you're looking to change, your legacy employees who are very happy don't want to change the mission statement. But if you want to take a new direction, ugh. So one of the things I feel like works better in family mission statements is...
Because you can't fire your children. You just get them. You get what you get and you don't pitch a fit.
I'm not going to dive into the legal laws around abandoning children. But you and I are co-chairs of the board, which means we get to set the mission statement. Now, eventually, as our kids get older, we might let them have more of a say. We do have conversations and we hear their voices. But at the end of the day, we can come to a really powerful mission statement between the two of us rather than having a conference room filled up with 8 people, half of which are still on their phones. So if you're talking to your entrepreneur and you're like, hey, entrepreneur spouse, I would think we should do a mission statement. And that guy or gal goes like this, right? Be like, no, this will be different. This will be effective. This will be meaningful. And I really believe that we have gotten a lot better at knowing what to say no to. Mm-hmm. You remember we were talking about that super busy, we're busy, but we're going nowhere. Mm-hmm. By having a good mission and knowing we're trying to accomplish what's right in front of us, man, I can say no to like everything except for the one thing.
And not feel bad about it.
No, I'll be like, no, I'm sorry.
Sorry, that doesn't fit.
Yep, I've got strong commitments. I'm on a mission.
And sometimes...
And I'm on a mission. And I'm wishing someone can cure my lonely condition. No? No.
And sometimes things change and you have to shift. Objectives change. You have to kind of shift the plan around a little bit. And it takes a minute sometimes for everybody to adjust to that change. When I started working again, because the vision changed, my kids were like, what?
Well, you're
They were not used to me leaving the house. Okay. They were not used to me dragging them basically to where I needed them to go because I needed to be there. They were not happy with the change. It took a while for everybody to adjust. And I say that just to say to anyone listening, be patient as you implement some of this stuff because it's not going to turn around immediately.
So we've got a little bit of time left, but I was curious. You said something to me earlier today. Would you like to be a little vulnerable on camera? Or would you rather...
What are we talking about?
You have many, many missions on your plate.
Oh, yeah.
Would you like to kind of talk through that as you are... Because right now, and you'll go into as much detail as you want or not, sometimes you're on a mission, and then you've got another mission, then you've got okay, and now you're absolutely spread thin, and you've said yes to too many things. You said no to a whole lot.
They're all so important. So at this point, it's really hard for me to choose. It's hard to choose.
To me,
I try not to do more than this many things.
I try not to do these.
Sorry, Facebook. I try not to do more than 3 major things at a time. Here's the issue. That sometimes you can get in the swing of a lifestyle. And it's very easy then for the lifestyle to be what steers your goals. And sometimes that's a good thing, and sometimes it can be overpowering. And so as your life shifts and changes and everything else adjusts around it, you might have to sometimes consider changing some lifestyle stuff as well to allow for these vision, values, and goals to actually fit and work. And sometimes that means taking on some other thing, or sometimes that means letting go of some stuff. And so I'm kind of in a place right now where I'm having to think about that and really consider that. And think it all the way through. But that's as much
Yeah.
as I want to say right now.
Sure.
That might change going forward.
Cool.
Yeah.
And this kind of changing is difficult for you in particular because once Carrie gives her word, that's it. She's given her word, and therefore she shall do it.
I'm loyal to a fault. It's a problem.
So changing or picking a new direction is very difficult because she feels very much tied to her word, and she really cares about people. So if Carrie ever says she's going to do something, you can be 100% guaranteed she'll do it.
I'll do it. It might not be great.
No, even it'll be great. She's fantastic because she doesn't like to do anything half-assed. So she's like 100% yes, brr. Now I'll get it because she'll be out of gas.
But I'm flaky sometimes too. So then I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Was I supposed to do that? Because there's
Was I supposed
so
to
many
pick up
things.
children?
Because there's so many things going on. So many things. If I were just doing 3 things, man, I'd be on top of that.
So
But then I start doing this many things, and I can't even. It's very overwhelming.
you know,
But let's bring it back around.
yes.
Eventually, and it will take some time. My vision, my values, and my goals that I have established for myself and that you and I have established for the overall arch of where our family is going will eventually pull me back to center. I strongly believe that.
So that's really cool. So I'm just talking here. Is it an appropriate thought process to say if you feel like you are completely busy, thin, out of energy, just absolutely pouring out, never being poured into, that maybe you don't have a strong vision with goals attached to it and missions, that maybe, just maybe, you don't know what to say no to, and so take your
Yeah, I
time.
don't think that means that you don't have them established. I think that it means probably more that you want to be the best at everything you do and for everyone that you love. And I think that that's probably, for me, more what overwhelms me rather than the fact that I don't know what I should be doing. I know exactly what I should be doing. I know exactly. Friends. I know.
She knows exactly.
I know.
Well, hey.
And we might get there, but it's gonna take some time for me to wrap my head around that completely. And I'm a big girl. I mean, you know,
Yeah, it's fine. You'll get there.
hard decisions are made much easier with these things as our
Yes.
true north.
Yes.
And you know, when you used to go out and you didn't want to go out, and you'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I just know I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna end up drinking too much." And I'd be like, "Blame me." My wife said no. That's fine. And then you'd have a reason. You'd have a reason to say no. You can even blame it on something else. Oh no, I can't eat that because I promised Adam I would do this special diet or whatever with him. I'm
Solidarity.
supporting him.
Yep.
Blame it on him. It's perfect. I mean, hey, I had my nephew the other weekend. He's a 1-year-old. I'm like, if I get bored or frustrated, I can just be like, sorry, I have this baby to take care of, and I could go do whatever I wanted. So
How would you go? Pick up the baby? He has shoes that sound like that.
He does have shoes that squeak. Anyway, anything else you'd like to add to this before we wrap it up?
No, we've got a whole bunch of wisdom coming down. I feel like there is a very, very, very right way to do vision, values, and goals that gives you permission to succeed as you, gives the business permission to succeed as the business, and the family. And you can tie all this in without having to sacrifice, well, if Carrie's vision's to happen, I have to not have. No, we're going to show you how to put all this together so everybody is getting heard, everyone's needs are being met, and you're moving in a common direction.
But it does end up being a beautiful sort of trinity. There's a lot of overlap there, and you have to have all of them, and you have to understand the relationship between all of them, and that they all deserve and require just as much energy and effort. Individual, business, and the family. So we will talk a little bit more about that over the coming weeks.
It's going to be great.
Yes. if you have not gone to WLEmission.com and signed up for our newsletter, we would love for you to go and do that. We even made it easy for you by not asking you to spell the word entrepreneurship.
We did that for you and me. I kept misspelling it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Also, we do a lot of cool events. One of our most favoriteest thing is our online summits.
Mm-hmm.
So go to WLEmission.com and engage. There's a lot of ways. You can get to the Facebook group. You can sign up for a summit. You can join so many different activities, like fun activities.
Yeah, if you are interested in the Facebook group, you want to see all the extra content, please, by all means, look us up, ask to join, we'll get you in. It's a lot of fun stuff. It's a lot of very introspective, thoughtful conversations and discussions, and
not all of it. I did like
some of it's silly.
a whole section of Skeletor inspirational memes.
Yeah, which is, I guess that's fun too. If you're ever interested in reading the blogs, those are also on the website. But we hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. Anything else, Mr. Anderson?
I love you a lot.
Aw, thanks, babe.
Bye.
Bye, guys.